On the
All, all right. So, hello, Ultra Charity viewers. We are here with another dev interview. For this one, we have HeckTeck. Hello.
That's me, I
Uh,
think.
so, um, before I do start asking you questions, a quick refresher for everyone. Maybe not just a refresher, but maybe just like an info dump. But HeckTech um also if you watch the first Ultra Charity, showed off that multiplayer Ultra Kill mod, which
Yes.
was super cool. But since then has gone on to do much more, in my opinion. So I'm really excited to kind of get in on all that and kind of hear the story of all of it. So I guess just to start off, let's just what do you do for Ultra Kill?
Yeah, I mean, um, it's cool because pretty much, first of all, I got to get it out the way that I'm not working on multiplayer. So don't get excited just because I've worked on that mod, just to because I know that might be an expectation. But yeah, no. Basically, what's really cool is that I'm just doing what I wished I could do when I was modding, which is going back and rewriting all the old code that had kind of got in the way. But also just like there's one thing that I didn't expect when I started is that I've been able to kind of go on and do some features that were requested, but not like kind of within the capacity of anyone to do because game development is hard, and Nikita and Peter and Victoria and everyone have so much to do. It's crazy. But yeah, I get to do little extra things that make people happy. So like yeah, I mean, I worked on the I feel like I should save this in case you wanna move on to something else, but
Oh, if you want to, I mean, yeah, if you just want to like say some of the stuff you've worked on, because most of the questions I have for you are more like your opinions and feelings on stuff. So yeah, if you just want to like kind of info dump on them, just
hell
various
yeah.
things you've worked on, go, feel free.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. So like I think the first thing I worked on, which was a bit of a hefty one, was the uh like rewriting the back end of the style system for the freshness and stuff to work. Which was extremely cool because it was like something quite core, which I didn't expect to even touch when I first kind of joined them. And that was even before I was officially a programmer for the team. I was just kind of temporarily on. Um, the in the I worked on the Cybergrind jukebox system, which I was very happy to see people's reaction to, and that's the upcoming custom music for that as well. I have started work on some things that I can't talk about, which is really tragic. But I'm enjoying it myself. I think everyone else will too. Yeah, there's plenty of other things that I've worked on that I'll need to will come into my head, I'm sure. But yeah, the input rebinding stuff, a lot of just general systemic stuff in the background. But like, it's cool. I kind of signed up with the expectation that I would be working on stuff that's like just clearing out the list of bugs that we have to get through. But it's ended up working out that I'm able to work on features that people actually see, and so yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like all that stuff you just listed off, I had no idea that you were the one behind it. So,
Really, yeah,
yeah, I did not have even the slightest clue. Like I just
that's me.
assumed I don't know, I didn't really know what I assumed. I just kind of assumed it was a group collaboration. I don't know how the internals of the team work obviously, but yeah, that's super
Yeah,
awesome insight to just kind of hear that how much and kind of how ingrained you are in it,
yeah,
because I had no idea. Like I've known that you've been officially part of the team for a while, and I guess how long have you been with the team officially?
Officially, so officially, it's only been like I say only. It's been like 5 months, I think. I
Okay.
don't remember the exact date because, to be honest, before I was officially on, I was kind of doing similar work, just less because I had to make time for job and other things. But
Hmm.
um, now that I'm like properly inaugurated as a developer,
Hmm.
I I'm able to dedicate so much more time to it, and it's crazy because it's like what I did in my spare time with modding, but now it's my job.
Yeah,
So
that's super awesome. But yeah,
yeah,
like, cause I knew since the multi-kill mod that you've kind of just been working on ultra kill stuff. So I personally had no idea when it transitioned from like that kind of doing ultra kill stuff for fun to actually working on it, and like
yeah,
all of the things that you had worked on and that kind of got implemented in, like I had no idea. So it's really cool to hear all of the different things you've actually been working on, and just
yeah.
how it's all like core stuff. Like it's stuff that I can't really imagine the game without at this point. So that's really cool to hear.
Yeah, it's crazy for me as well because, like I said, I didn't expect to be doing that kind of thing, and like I I think it's nice that they uh, were able to kind of trust me with tasks like that, um, because it's it's pretty it's really nice, and I know it's a small team, so like we're all gonna be working on big things ourselves, which is
Mhm.
always great. But still, it's way more than I expected, and honestly, way more fun than I expected as well, which is crazy. Funnily enough, I actually have more hours working on the game by now than I do playing it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Always
which
cool to
is
kind of see that flip happen. Like,
it's
wow.
weird. Like as just it's weird going from just someone who found the game and like uh, was kind of into it and then speedrunning. And weird to think that if I didn't start speedrunning, I wouldn't have made the first mod that I made, and then I wouldn't have. It's crazy, but I'm very fortunate, basically.
Yeah, quite the domino effect. See, you speed run and good things happen.
Yes, everyone needs to speedrun Ultra Kill. That's
that's
that's how
that's the
this goes.
moral of the story, I think here.
Exactly. So true.
All right. So as I'm kind of like looking at these questions, I'm kind of rearranging them as we go. Um,
Yeah,
so
might be my.
this one's I'm pretty curious about. What's the your favorite thing you've worked on for Ultra Kill so far?
Right. So actually, the sad thing is my favorite thing I can't say.
Oh,
But
next year, next year.
well, we'll see. Not, yeah, yeah. Your words, not mine. Um, I, of the things that I can talk about, I, I think so. The most like fun to work on, I think, was the like cybergrind music stuff, which is weird because it's a kind of it's just kind of like an additional feature to cybergrind. But and so when I was working on it, I kind of thought that people would be like, "Oh, that's cool," and move on. But people were really happy about it, um, and that was really cool to see because I think that was like the like first like properly visible change I made.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, in terms of actual impact to the game, in the next update, the little wall riding thing I implemented. Have you seen that?
I have.
Yes, I think it's cool. I go back to like the release build of the game and I keep trying to do it and I'm like, God, I don't know.
Yeah, when you were
It's
when you were talking about like all the things that you've worked on that are kind of out of the original scope, I guess, and just like little side
Mhm.
things, like that's the first thing that came to mind. Like, because I saw that
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, that's something I never thought would have been in, just because it's like it's such a superfluous thing.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
you started talking about how you're kind of working on those extra things that just give the game that little bit of polish, and I was like, oh yeah, heck probably worked on that then. That's probably all him.
Hell yeah. No, I am like the thing is we cross over so much as well. Like, uh, I feel like I tend not to work on like the actual content of the game. You know,
Mhm.
I mean that's mostly Hikita and Victoria, but I these little side things that add to it are just it's so fun to work on them. And like obviously I do get to contribute like to the main content in terms of systems and stuff like that, which is always really cool. Yeah, no, it's just great. I I think, to be honest, uh my I've enjoyed receiving feedback a lot more than I thought I would, you know. Because you don't you don't expect that like receiving feedback, negative or positive, would be like as fun as it is for me, but like I have to stop myself from going through and seeing what people have to say about it, because it's like addictive. It's weird. it's like it's like, oh, they think it's good, they think it's bad, but like no, actually taking feedback and stuff is working on it is just is really cool. Um yeah, but that I think so to put it in short, my favorite thing in terms of actually working on it is the Cyberground music, uh, and in terms of like what it adds to the game for me personally is
Mhm.
the wall riding thing.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I feel like you kind of answered this one. But if you know want to kind of add on to it,
Yeah.
anything that because it's kind of different with programming because like you kind of see the things in the game as you're working on them. But
Yeah.
is there anything that you worked on that kind of out of context you worked on, and then once it like got implemented, it just felt really good to finally see it inside the full
Oh,
package?
yeah. That's that is an interesting one. Just racking my brain a bit.
Yeah, no, take your time. No rush at all.
Thank you. I I think for sure it was weird to see anything UI based, because I'm terrible at art, right? I'm not.
Mhm.
I but like, and UI design also I'm not particularly strong with. Like I've done some basic web development stuff, but also like I'm colorblind. Really convenient
Oh
that Ultra
God.
black and white. So like, that saves me a lot of trouble. But um, like I feel like it's weird because I put it together and then I look at it and I'm like, damn, that looks like part of the game. So like with the input rebinding stuff, like yeah, exactly like you said. When I was working on it, I was like, looks kind of weird to have this. It's a bit, and it helps to have back and forth with Hakita and Peter, who are
Mhm.
really like involved with making that, because obviously it's a big thing. And like I said, I'm not the best at UI design, but when I put something together that actually looks nice, that is especially impressive for me. And I had the same thing with the Cybergrind music, because I did the UI for that obviously as well, and I drew some of the little icons for it too, which were supposed to be temporary, but no one like commented on them, so I think they're fine for now. Who knows? Maybe they'll get cold when.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll be like the old God, what is it? The Peter icons.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We'll
Exactly.
get HeckTeck icons.
It's so true. I need to make my little pack. And see, mine would be like Peter has like that kind of endearing programmer outlook. I just like I think I'd just like make people sad. So yeah, who
Your
knows?
art just emanates like despair and sadness. It's like, oh.
No, why am I doing this? But those icons, they're my babies. They can stay. Um, it's really cool to just see things like that come together.
Yeah.
Um, and it's weird because you feel kind of, and you like you I know you've worked on game stuff, haven't you? Didn't you?
Yeah.
You'll know what I mean when I say it makes you feel kind of insane when you've worked on something that seems small, but like you keep looking at it and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% know what you mean.
And it's like I don't know, it's just really cool. I love seeing it visually come together. I think because it's so different to what I'm used to with programming, that would be
Yeah,
why. But yeah, it's crazy.
love it, love it. I guess I don't know. The next two questions kind of go hand in hand with each other, so I'll
Okay.
kind of maybe word the second one a little differently to maybe push your answer in a different direction.
Okay.
But we'll just start with the next two. What's the most challenging thing you've worked on so far?
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so I think I've uh recently been going back through old like enemy code to try and clean it up a bit. Um, and that little cleanup is insane. Um, the I think it's difficult because it's A, code from a few years ago, and B, code that I didn't write.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
The two
I'll
really bad things.
yeah. Obviously that's like that adds to it, but I mean it's almost like it's like a meme how silly the enemy code is, but like it's also not so bad that it's not worth going in and untangling a bit, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there is logic to it, but that is probably the absolute, and that's like kind of what I'm working through right now. Because obviously Peter uh had a go at it, and he like he had similar problems to me. I don't have as much on my plate to work with at the same
Mhm.
time, so I just have more time to dedicate to it. Um, but yeah, no, it's got to be that, I think, for
Yeah.
sure.
Fair enough. Yeah. Even if I've wrote the code, if it's been past a couple weeks, half the time I can't understand it. So
Yeah,
I 2 years and it's someone else's code. Like that's no one knows how that works at that point.
probably more than 2 years, but like you
Yeah.
know,
Um.
so
So yeah, this next question's kind of it. I feel like it's gonna be the same thing because it sounds like that's been taking a minute. But what's taken you the longest to finish? Maybe not the hardest, but maybe something that's just like really menial and it's just been taking a long time.
so actually, I haven't been working on the little rewrites for that long. So that wouldn't actually be the longest in any sense.
Oh, perfect.
I Yeah, there you go. Um, I think so. In terms of actual development hours spent, it'll be different compared to like time spent because with the style HUD, given that was the first thing I was working on and I wasn't officially on the team at that point, I was really slow. Like way slower than I would have liked to be.
Mhm.
So that ended up taking like physically the longest. Um, but the actual implementation time, um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like it's all been quite even, or it's felt quite even. It's really hard to tell for me because nothing particularly drags because I'm a nerd and I like doing system stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so it's all kind of blended into one.
It just feels like one long project, kind of.
Yeah, although I have to say um with the custom music, I had to uh manually go through and type out the um like data for each track and find each track in the game files, which they thank God for Peter organizing it like right before I had to do that because it meant that like I was dreading it the whole time, and then he was like, "Oh hey, I put all the music into this folder." I was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you so much." And it wouldn't have taken me that long. It's just it's It's exactly like you said. It's menial.
Yeah.
But for, no, I no, the input system had to have taken me the longest. I've been working on that for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I completely forgot about that, but honestly, it's not even because it's like particularly um challenging for the brain. It's a Unity's API being deranged
Ah.
deranged thing. And don't get me wrong, new input system is much better, and the code that they've written to like the other team members have written to kind of wrap over it is pretty great. But then like I'm like, okay, I know how this works, and then I try and do something based on that knowledge, and Unity is just like, nah, sorry.
Nah, that's not how it works. You don't know how this works.
I, exactly. The software hates us, but that's part of the job, I think.
Yeah, I think yeah, pretty much.
That's how it is, I guess. Just have to live with it. No, it is very fun though, and like it was one of the things that I believe I chose to do rather than was specifically asked.
Mm-hmm.
That's one interesting thing about how the development process works, actually. For me, at least, obviously, but it's different for everyone else. But that we have a like we generally get asked to do things occasionally, but otherwise we just have a big list, and we're just like, oh yeah, we'll do that, we'll do that, we'll do that, and that I think has been more the case since I came on because it was just an extra person to manage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's really nice just being like, I want to work on this, and then doing it. And again, not something I expected to be doing. I thought it would
Yeah.
be a lot of. I think Akita called it grunt work with all the bugs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I get to. I get so much freedom. It's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Uh I don't really know how. I was gonna try to like describe the next couple questions, but I think it's just gonna be easier to just ask them.
Yeah.
Um, is at this point, is there anything that you wish you could do again or do differently? I guess yeah, just do differently.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, there's always the little things that you leave, and you're like, oh God, why did it? But so big obvious one is I posted about double binds on my Twitter. So like how you could bind alt to space and no, sorry, alt to jump and slide
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, and then you have like a dive button. Um, then immediately, the speedrunners were like, "No, this is awful. This is terrible. This will destroy everything." And I was like, then I talked to them, and yeah, it would destroy everything. So I, uh, like, I by that point the post was up. Um, but I have since reversed that change, and in fact, the last thing that I was polishing up over the last couple of weeks was just finishing the stopping bind conflicts because I only got around to that recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I yeah, that was the big thing. Uh, so but to be honest, it wasn't like really bad for me. It was nice just seeing that they were willing to sit there and explain it to me.
Yeah.
And I think people were happy that I was like responding and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'd obviously prefer to have kind of foreseen all the issues it would have caused in the first place.
Yeah.
It was like that was insane stuff they were like theorizing with it. It's honestly crazy how much of the game people just have in their head to know what this hypothetical
Yeah,
mechanic would
that
do.
is pretty wild. Just like all the theory crafting that's been done, even though like it'll never theory crafting done on like theoretical gameplay concepts.
Exactly. And it's like that they were talking about like hyper specific stuff you could do, like one button insta mount rocket launcher stuff, and like it was I don't know. I've really been so out of touch with it, and I'm not like sad about it, but like I wish I could be as involved with speedrunning as I was before. But
Yeah, it's that
everyone,
issue of like, oh, you can't be everywhere at once.
it's not even that. It's just everyone's so good now.
Yeah.
I like I can't keep up with whatever the hell people are doing now. Like in the demo, it was fine because it was like 4 or 5 of us, right?
Yeah.
And then like it grew a little bit, but um now there's such a volume of people, and they're all so good at the game that it's like ridiculous to think that at one point I had the world record given the gap between me and other people.
Yeah,
And obviously
that,
part of
that
that is the time I spent developing on it. Sorry, you were
yeah.
gonna say
No, you're good.
something.
No, you're good. I was saying that at one point we were it. Like we were the
Yeah,
ones.
everybody, that was us. Yeah, I don't know. Are you so much involved with it anymore?
No, not too much.
Oh
I
man,
kind of started focusing on fighting games a lot more,
hell
but
yeah,
I like try to keep up with like a lot of the tech.
yeah.
But that's about it at this point,
That's
really.
fair. I'm struggling to even keep up with that. Someone had to explain dead coining to me.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that it's dead coining's. I I don't know how it works. I just know how to do it.
yeah, yeah, no. But you know, I'm always happy that people are so willing to explain it to someone that they kind of. It's weird because a lot of the response I get has kind of seen me as an outsider now, which is which is like completely fair because of I haven't been involved so much. But then like the
Yeah.
occasional person recognizes me and they're like, "Hey," um, it's crazy. But I'm really happy with the direction the community's gone. I'm also really glad that I can uh, steer the speed game from behind the scenes like an evil puppet master. My fingers in every pie. So just like just don't like get too many strategies that like I'm not a fan of. Okay, guys. Okay.
Because they
Cool.
might not be around too long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We might wanna keep HeckTeck in good favor with you. So.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I wouldn't. I would never. I would never. I love you guys. Except for when you wish me a happy birthday. By the way, just like I need to like get this out of the way because like I predict it's gonna happen. I feel like a couple of people in the chat will wish me happy birthday. It is not my birthday. You're only allowed to wish me happy birthday if you donate like at least $10. Okay. Okay.
I like that. Donate to
Yeah.
charity. Yahoo!
Exactly. Yeah.
Yippee!
There you go. That's all. That's the only way. If like any time in the future anyone says it to me, I'm gonna go back and check that they've done that. So
You gotta check the
I will.
donation logs.
Yeah, I'm gonna blacklist their Steam ID from the game until I've checked. Yeah. No, it's yeah, for a good cause, I'll take it.
I guess you kind of answered this with the double binding. But if there's anything else, is there anything that you worked on that either didn't feel right once like actually implemented, or like in the case of double binding, just completely broke things that just didn't end
Tragic.
up making it into the game? So just cutting anything on the cutting room floor that you can talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, hmm. I'm not particularly sure because I haven't been too involved with the kind of iterative gameplay side of things.
Hmm.
Um, like I say that I have touched the style system and stuff, but um, yeah, no, the only real like forward-facing gameplay thing that I've worked on where I could really say that's the case is the wall riding stuff.
Hmm.
I feel like there's been something else, but I can't remember what it was that I implemented, and it was Hakita kind of pointed out a very obvious problem with it, and I was like, oh yeah, well, that's a common occurrence, by the way. I just it's very funny. Hakita is very good at just predicting how things will go wrong,
Yeah.
and I genuinely really appreciate it because like so much time I would have otherwise wasted. And that's partially just an experience thing, but I also just I don't know. I think he's just very good at that.
Yeah,
Um,
you kind of get the feel for it, like, oh yeah, this might not this you know, implementing this might not be a great use of our time.
yeah, exactly. Um, God, I can't remember what it was, but there was something, and if it comes back to me, I will probably, I'll try not to interrupt you mid-sentence,
Yeah,
but that'll
no, feel free to interrupt. This is all about you. So if I get interrupted, I don't care.
oh man. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, and I mean, I think having the extra kind of just I often send just like on the code side of things, I often just send stuff to Peter for sanity checks. like is this this makes sense? And like he has to be like, yeah, or what does it do? And then I explain it and he's like, no, that sucks, or yeah, that's great. But it's really cool. Like it's really nice because I didn't feel like when I started I was. And I'm sorry if I keep derailing questions to talk about the team and the job
No, I
itself, but
love it. I love it. That's what
Nash
we're
sick
here
and the
for.
job is sick.
I just want you to talk.
Yeah. I'm happy to oblige. The yeah, um, I didn't feel any pressure to um like prove myself
Mhm.
or anything. I didn't feel like they were very good at kind of just getting me to do what was in my means, and giving me advice and stuff, um, which like is extremely valuable to be
Mhm.
honest. It's great. It's really really great. I love it. I have no more to say.
Yeah, no, that's all you need to say. If
Exactly.
that's all you want to say, and that's all that's all you need to say, honestly. Like, yeah, you love it, and that's awesome to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. Like,
Hell yeah.
I that's what I want to hear from everyone's interviews. That just they love it. They love the work. They love the team, and that's what it sounds like so far. So I'm really happy to hear that and kind of get this insight and just know what everyone's working on and all that. It's great. I really do enjoy
It's funny.
just all of it.
Yeah, yeah, no. I think I'm gonna have to go back and look at everyone's interviews just to like I know. I just I feel like it's a weird change in perspective because the first the first charity event I was a viewer
Hmm.
and now I have a bit more of a insight.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but yeah, it's very silly. Yeah, no, it's super cool. And I'm sure you'll get plenty more positive answers from everyone
Yeah.
because as far as I can see, it's fun for most of us.
Yup. That's what I
Yep.
love to see. All right.
Hell
So this next question is kind of the last. Yeah, it's pretty much the last Ultra Kill related question, honestly.
yeah. Ew.
Um, and
Mhm.
hopefully it's from what you've been saying so far, it's gonna be a pretty positive one. Any community interactions that have stood out to you so far? At once,
Oh,
I guess maybe I don't know. I want to split this into two.
mhm.
Um, cuz let's kind of have it be where community interactions when between multi-kill and working officially on the game and then
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, yeah. No, those are two pretty separate things in my head too. I feel like I still engage with the game as a fan, which is really cool. Um, I there are so many to choose from. I mean, like I think with um like an obvious answer is the charity events themselves,
Mhm.
uh, which is just awesome to see. But all of the collaboration like combo, uh, I don't know exactly how they call them in uh, the community. I've forgotten the exact word, but the collaboration stuff that like Herb did and stuff like that. That was really cool to see because um, I was really into Devil May Cry at one point,
Mhm.
and obviously people used to do that all the time for that game, and it's just nice to see that Opticals evolve to a point where there is enough depth for people to be expressive in that way.
Mhm.
the like and just seeing the way that like speedrunners and skilled players have introduced new players to the game is so incredible compared to like every other community I've seen in my life. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the game or the people that makes it so cool. Or maybe I'm just coincidentally dodging all of the awful people. No, no, I genuinely believe that the community is really, really um welcoming, I guess.
Mhm.
Um the um what was it? Sorry, I've completely dropped that sentence. Yeah, no, it's just it's really nice to see. Um the I think in terms of like oh, also the entire modding scene, like I'm so sorry to everyone that like I've been involved with ModWise and how I've kind of been taken over by working on the game itself. I I feel like most people understand, but I still want to say sorry. The modding scene has developed so much like since I've kind of taken a step back from it. Um, and I hope we can um like facilitate it even more
Mhm.
currently are. And that's partially one of the goals of me going back and rewriting old stuff, which, as I said, was a decent portion of what I do. Um, is it's stuff that when I was modding, I was like, no, no.
Like, man, this is terrible.
Yeah. And to be fair, when you're working from the decompiled code, it's a lot worse. So I kind of need to get in touch with like my cynical modder self occasionally and be like, what would I hate here? Because I I'm kind of I'm stuck with like the um what do you call it? Like the kind of relief of seeing that it's not as bad as it was when I was modding
Mhm.
because A of decompilation and B they've been slowly improving the code.
Yeah.
Um so I kind of need to sit back and be like, okay, what can I actually improve? Like I know it's better than before, but
Mhm.
it's got to be stuff. Yeah, no, the modding community is insane. I myself has have actually had to step back from multi-kill mostly, so that is now mostly in the hands of Tempers, who I've forgotten the name of the other mod he made, but I well he's made plenty, but do you know the one I'm referring to?
I have no idea. I am so out of the modding scene.
Yeah, no, that's like too removed from where your interest laid anyway.
Yeah.
God, Tempers. I'm sorry. I need to find it. Oh, it's yeah. What's the name of it? Okay, I am finding this because I need to give a shout out. um, yeah, he's the one that made Ultra Mod Manager. I just forgot what the word Mod Manager was. UMM, which a lot of other mods used,
Oh, okay.
and it was really good. It was kind of better at doing what UltraKit did.
Mhm.
Um, and just to be clear, UltraKit was my old attempt at a uh, mod loader that was like Lua scripting and stuff. Um, the name has since been taken up by another project, which I wasn't aware of until recently, but like, you know, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
They're doing their stuff. Um, the um, since I've been a developer, obviously the interactions I've had with just it's crazy. Like every every time I get to post something, I used to feel nervous, and now I just feel the excitement that I felt from the start. Um, because I'm just happy to see that like I'm contributing to the game. That like I don't want to get like I don't want to make it sound like more intense than I mean, but like that contributed to my life. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
nice.
it really did though. Like, it's not, you really aren't overblowing it by saying that it's contributed to your life, because I
Yeah,
mean, it has. It's you're working on the game now. Like, you're being
exactly.
paid to work on this game. So
And I
I
mean,
would say it's pretty significant impact on your life.
I've like n- been involved with the game in some capacity for 4 years now. Like, I was 15 when I first heard about the game, and now I'm 19. So I guess not. Yeah, I guess it's not really overblowing it, but puts me in a strange position. Like I said before, I still kind of engage with it as a fan,
Hmm.
um, but then I also separately engage with it as a developer and as a job.
Yeah.
Just like a especially fun job. Obviously, to an extent, every job is gonna be like you need to make yourself do it, but infinitely less than I expected it to be.
Yeah,
Like
which is
I
great to
cannot
hear.
overstate. Yeah, I cannot overstate how, and I've been trying to convey this to like other people. I can't quite do it, but like just how unbothered I am about, because coding can be a chore, but something I don't know. It's cool.
Hmm.
I I I think it's just the working on a game that, like I said, has contributed so much that I'm happy with it.
Hmm.
But yeah, back to the community interactions. Going on a tangent again, but a nice one. Um, I I was really happy with the feedback I got from the speedrun channel in the uh, Discord when I posted the thing, and so I actually hung around and just kind of asked for other things that they'd like to see changed, um, and that was. And I said like from the start no guarantees, but that was just, it was really nice that they were like, oh yeah, awesome, and just had a list of things that
Hmm.
like,
They
and
were
they were all
ready.
like, yeah, exactly. They were, and like I understand when you're speedrunning, it gets to be frustrating, but I still found it nice, you know,
Hmm.
even if it was coming from a place of this was causing us problems. It's like, damn, I'm glad that you guys are so involved in the game that you're having these problems now. If you know what I mean,
Yeah, no, 100%.
it's great. Um, and the um, yeah, it's just the whole community is just it's like it's been good, but um, as it's grown, there was the worry that like obviously it was gonna, you know, it was gonna get toxic or whatever. But no, it's kept itself together pretty well,
Hmm.
and that's thanks to ba- basically everyone involved with the game.
Yeah.
It's great. Um, I Yeah, it's amazing.
Right. Yeah,
See how much
I'm
it's
glad it's
grown.
been such a kind of going from that like fan to dev
Mm.
transition was you're still having those great interactions with everyone. That's really great to hear.
I was worried it would kind of alienate me a little bit, because it was a different kind of just outlook on the game, but it's not
Hmm.
that serious.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm just like, I get to code and then I get to play Ultra Kill, and by that I mean test my code, and so that's that's, that's great. In any
Hmm.
case, yeah, it's amazing.
All right. So that's kind of the end of the ultra kill questions. From here, it's kind of just like more so like things for people kind of interested in what you do and how you do it.
Absolutely.
So not
Still,
necessarily ultra kill specific, but yeah.
still
And
weird to think that people might be curious in that way, you know?
yeah, I mean, I know I certainly am. Like, I
Yeah, yeah.
love hearing just everyone's workflow and pipelines and what they like to do. But
It's amazing.
I'll start off with kind of like the a really like kind of basic bare bones question. But what kind of programming in general do you like to do?
Yeah, yeah. So like outside of Ultra Kill, or just like what kind of programming tasks I'm kind of inclined towards.
However you want to answer it, honestly. If you want to talk about things outside of Ultra Kill that you do like to do, like I would love to hear that as well.
Yeah, no, I one little thing that I've been working on recently is uh just trying to make a basic bare bones engine, which is really nice. I've been doing that in Rust, which has been fun to work with because I've never wanted to touch C++ with anything shorter than. Anyway, um, so that it's that's been a little interest to me. I've been and I really have to let me restart that sentence. I've been very drawn towards graphics programming
Mhm.
recently, hence the interest in the engine. And I really feel like that is thanks to my work on Ultra Kill, not because I've been doing graphics work, but because Victoria, who's been doing most of the graphics programming, has done something cool, and I've been like, or like I've like they've had an issue and I've made a suggestion and then like it fixed it. And
Mhm.
the first time that I was like, hey, maybe try using the stencil buffer for this one thing, something graphics related, and then
Mhm.
it worked. I was like, oh my god,
Nah.
I know how to use the GPU. It's something I don't know. It's not hard to learn, but it was hard for me to learn.
Yeah.
So, but it's been really cool that from I've been able to kind of pick stuff up by asking questions, and I know a lot more about graphics programming and shader stuff than I did before I started.
Mhm.
So and that's thanks to annoying Victoria with questions about what they've just done. So I have to be grateful to her.
Yeah, and you kind of answered with that and the next question with the answer. But any other projects you're working on that you just feel really passionate about? It sounds like that engine is a pretty big one.
Yeah, that like that's not. I'm not expecting it to go anywhere, but like it's fun for me to tinker with.
Yeah.
Um, and like I haven't got too far, but I don't know. It's a fun little project.
Hmm.
I have to say though, um, hair trigger and this I'm gonna use this to shill hair trigger. I've me and Salad. I say me and Salad. Salad is working on a game that I'm helping out with occasionally. Between Ultra, um, and it's called Hair Trigger, HARE, and it's shaping up like so in such a cool way. Because obviously since Reeve was cancelled, um, we still were kind of had the itch to make an FPS that was like fun.
Hmm.
Um, and Salad has managed that uh, so much better than we did before. I'm really excited about it personally, and it's annoying because as of late I've been very busy and not so involved with what's going on with it. But
Hmm.
you guys should check it out in any case. I also have helped out with Knuckle Duster, which is Zactoplasm's game, um, and helped out with the movement and stuff in that. I love writing character controls and helping out with movement. By the way, that's a people think I'm insane. It's like my favorite thing to do. Like on honest to God, if you need me to write a character controller for your game, just or you need help with it, just ask me because Jesus, I love talking about it. I don't know why. I think I'm just crazy. Um, but it's a useful skill. So um, yeah, Zactoplasm's game Knuckle Duster is another really cool project. Um, I think he's working on other things mainly at the minute, like Hotel Purgatorio, but um, I that's just great. I'm really excited for where both of those are going. And I had a hand in them. I am digging my claws into any any Ultra Kill associated retro developer I can find,
Yeah.
or retro FPS developer I can find.
Well, awesome. Good shout outs. Check out
Yeah,
a Hair Trigger by Salad Mancer and everything Zactoplasm's making, because he's
Absolutely
making a
everything.
lot of different stuff. Hotel Purgatorio looks super cool. That's
It
the
does.
thing I'm super interested in.
Yeah, it's like a little 3D platformer thing.
Yeah, it's really really cool. Um,
Um,
oh, go
I've
ahead, go
probably
ahead.
forgotten many other things. Just, I'm sorry if I've forgotten you, but I love you. Just covering my bases. But yeah,
So yeah, moving on to the next question. These are definitely the big ones that are just like for people interested in kind of doing the things that you're doing.
oh yeah,
Um, and for themselves, like doing it for themselves and just kind of helping them out, because I'm sure a lot of people that like ULTRAKILL. I mean, ULTRAKILL kind of has fans of all ages, so they, want to do things like ULTRAKILL. So this is kind of for them. Programs and tools you'd recommend.
oh yeah, sure. Um, so I mean, the basic thing, the main thing is just pick one and get started, right? So if you want to make games, pick a game engine, make the smallest game you can feasibly imagine, a small and like whatever you're thinking, half of that. Um, then you'll be fine. Like I, although we use Unity all the time, I would perhaps say think about other options. And Godot is really nice and beginner friendly and open source. And I love its architecture. So that is what I would say is a really nice one for people to start with. I've gotten a couple of my friends into some basic game development stuff with Godot, just kind of helping them out here and there because they were going to have to write a character controller and I got to help them out with that. No, I'm joking. And I think what's more important is that you need to pick up some fundamentals, like fundamental skills that will then be transferable between every programming tool. So don't get hung up on programming language. Learn any C-like language. Or just learn the language that you need for your current situation, ideally. But if you don't have a game you're working on, just just learn C#, whatever you feel like, basically. Because the most important thing is that you're actually motivated to learn it, rather than it's, I don't know, industry standard. Because if it's industry standard, you bang your head against the wall. It doesn't help. The
Yeah.
industry is not going to standardize your medical bill. I, um, yeah, I think one thing that's really important for game development, and don't be intimidated, is just basic vector maths and linear algebra. If you want to go a bit more in depth, just knowing some basic vector maths, like it's literally just stuff like how do I rotate a vector? What is the dot product? I feel like those, aside from being interesting to people who are like me, and by that I mean insane, it's it's really useful in basically everything you'll work on in game development that's related to gameplay. And basically everything else you can just wing it. As long as you've got your tool chosen, you just need an engine, you need a code editor. I use VS Code. Akita uses Visual Studio. You can use Notepad. As long as you're able to make a game with it and it's not scaring you off of making games. Because I feel like the main problem that people need to avoid is being scared off by accidentally overscoping or getting stuck in tutorial hell, or picking a tool. And that's another thing. So this is way beyond the scope of the question, but I think you'll I think you can see why. The Don't get stuck in tutorial hell. If you're looking at tutorials, they're great. But do it because you're implementing something right now, or you're just starting with a new engine, and have the engine open as you do it. I feel like much more than tools, I feel like those kind of skills and approaches to how you're trying to pick up game development are much more important, because we don't have we don't have what we have is like a load of resources from New Blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any like specialized tools. Like I think Victoria uses Maya, which is like probably the least accessible thing for people getting into it, but you can easily substitute it for Blender if you're willing to put up with some of the non-standard things it does. And otherwise, everything else is exactly what you would use if you were just starting out. It's just Unity VS Code. So it's don't get hung up on tools if I had to say something, but I think it's it, it's kind of hard to it's easy for me to say when we've got a workflow established, but I understand it's hard and people just want a place to start. So get an engine, Godot, and that has a built-in code editor. You don't even need a code editor. Just just start with Godot and learn its programming language. It's a lot like Python. But yeah, I'm sorry for again massive tangent, but
No, no,
I
that's exactly what I want. Like, God, if you got things to say, I want you to say them. And I mean, you kind of answered the next question, but I'll ask it anyways.
mm,
Any other parting words? I mean, second to last question. Any other parting words or advice? Because you kind of went
ooh.
off on that one, which I'm glad you did, because that just means it came out naturally. But
Yeah, yeah.
anything else you want to say?
Ooh. Um, find yourself an indie game that's gonna be really successful and get involved with it early, so you. No, no, just if if you wanna make a game, you're you really do just have to make a game, and that sounds awful. But I feel like this is kind of advice you'll hear across the board from any developer. It's not some special realization I've come to, but I've even I made some little crappy project. I say even I've made some little crappy projects in the past, but I was so much more proud of them than Reeve, which had a much more outwardly professional aesthetic to its development. We had a logo, we had a social media account, we had a. I I don't feel good about Reeve. I feel good about Button Masher, the little game I made where you slap buttons and there's 3 levels and the options menu is a slider that's unlabeled. And thinking of that makes me feel happy. So there's a lot of people who feel a lot of pressure to get into game development because they don't know what other kind of career is out there for them, and they're approaching it from a place of anxiety. And like I really do sympathize, and it's awful to go through. But the least you can do for yourself to make it easier is just make it fun. And if it helps, think of that fun as not as recreation but work. It's harder than it sounds. But yeah, I uh, otherwise donate to the stream. That's my parting advice, and you'll yeah you'll
No, good advice. Good advice. I can agree with
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
I think most people could agree. Yeah, no, that's all I think.
All right. Socials where people can find you and the things you work on. If
Yes.
you want to share those.
So the only one that I think is I'll put out there is my Twitter, which I don't I don't remember which way around it goes. It's HeckTeck Dev or Dev HeckTeck. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to check my own handle. Sorry. It is HeckTech_dev, and that is where I post any upcoming ULTRAKILL features that I'm working on that I'm allowed to post. When Nikita lets me out of my cage,
Duh.
I am fed for the first time in the... No, I...
I just realized I wasn't even following you. I'm following your other account.
Oh my god. Everyone to make up for this is so sad. Hit that follow button.
Hit that follow button, ring that bell.
Rate 5 stars.
Give a thumbs up. Yeah.
Exactly right. Don't wish me a happy birthday.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Unless you're donating to the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Please go ahead. You've earned that privilege. No, it's HeckTeck_dev. And basically all I post there is ULTRAKILL stuff until I will be working on other projects more thoroughly, in which case I'll probably start posting other stuff there.
All right, and that's HeckTeck, HeckTeck_dev. That's for everyone.
Yeah.
That's looking it up right now.
I sometimes forget it's not a standard spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. It was really, really great hearing just everything, your journey, your opinions on everything you've worked on, and just how you feel about it and all of it. It was awesome to hear. Like I said this with another interview, but you know, people are gonna thank me for running this event, but I mean, I'm doing such a small part in comparison to what all the devs are doing and even all the runners. Like, all of you are working on this, year round, and I work on this for a couple months.
And I wouldn't say you do a small part though. Come on, give yourself some credit.
But yeah, thank you for doing this. It means a lot to me, for sure. It means a lot, and hopefully it means as much to everybody watching.
Yeah. I'm happy I can contribute even a little bit, just to the community that's been so good to me and other people. I don't want to speak for other people, but to me. And to be honest, any excuse to gush about how good my job is and how cool the people I work with are is just great. And it's weird to word it like that for me, right? Because I kind of just go on and do stuff that I would otherwise be doing, like, in my spare time.
Yeah.
But how I get paid for it, now I actually contribute to the game for it. And it's great. It's amazing. I have to resist the urge to gush about it most of the time, so it's great to have an opportunity to do it and pretend that I'm doing it for a good cause. No, seriously. I will... You have to be donating to the stream, everyone. Come on.
All right. Well, thank you. It was a great interview. And now we're back. Thank you, chat, for being here. Thank you for supporting Ultra Charity 2023. And let's get back to whatever.
Yeah, whatever's going on. Time travel, Back to the Future. Let's go.